Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Mat. This is the Royal Rumble review, and we're about to get right into it. Let me send this link out. Oh, says. Give me a second. I'm sending this out to people, groups, and stuff like that, family members, and everybody else. So give me 1 second before we hop right into it. Give me 1 second, people. I'm trying to send this link out. It gets harder and harder every week I do this. Send this out. This is the Royal Rumble review show, and I'm telling you, we're gonna talk about a lot. The returns that didn't happen, the returns that should have happened, the blotches, the unexpected happening at the Royal Rumble. We're gonna talk about all of that. So give me 1 second while I send this link out. I send it out in a text message and all that good stuff. Yes, I'm rocking the Hurt Business. This is from one of my collections. I'm rocking the Hurt Business, and on the back it says I'm in. We're gonna get into all that later on. Here we go. I'm live right now. All right, almost there. Give me 1 second. Bear with me. Thank y'all for bearing with me. If you gotta go, you gotta go. Thank you for bearing with me. Okay, I got one more person to send this to. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Master of the Mat. I am your host, Anthony the Origin Bryant, and this is the Royal Rumble review show. Last night, Royal Rumble was unexpected, a lot of blotches, and it was downright crazy. All I got to say, downright crazy. And we're going to kick it off with the men's Royal Rumble, because that's the way the show started last night, was the men's Royal Rumble. And as many Royal Rumbles as I've watched over my years, I have never known WWE to kick off with men's Royal Rumble. They normally kick off with the women's Royal Rumble or a tag title match, but they just went right into the men's Royal Rumble. And when I tell you this was a men's Royal Rumble to remember, boy, I tell you, this was the men's Royal Rumble to remember. The Intercontinental Champion Gunther, a.k.a. Walter, started off with the Celtic Warrior Sheamus, and for the next 2 minutes, they beat the brakes out of each other. You hear me? Then Miz came in. Then Kofi Kingston, Johnny Gargano, Xavier Woods, Karrion Kross, Chad Gable, Drew McIntyre, Santos Escobar, one of the members of the Street Profits, Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley, Baron Corbin, Seth freaking Rollins, Otis, Rey Mysterio did not enter. Now, the note behind that is Ray didn't enter because the night before, Ray was injured in the match with Karrion Kross. And the match he won. He injured his right bicep and he injured his knee. So that's why he didn't enter. They made it like Dominic kicked him out and all that good stuff. But yeah, I'm not gonna get into everybody that was in the Royal Rumble. The only surprise that was in the Rumble was Booker T, and he was the only surprise that was in the Rumble. Cody Rhodes was the number 30. 1 second. Cody Rhodes was the only surprise in the Royal Rumble because Cody Rhodes was number 30. He came in, won the whole darn thing. Yeah, I know. Where was Zack Ryder? It was a. I actually prefer Zack Ryder over Logan Paul, to be honest with you. I mean, really. If Chelsea Green could have been in the Women's Royal Rumble, how come Zack Ryder wasn't in the Men's Royal Rumble? That would have made perfect sense. Husband and wife. Even though she didn't last long, but I'm just saying. So it just happened. I think the shocker of the night was the almighty Bobby Lashley eliminating Brock Lesnar. Gunther went coast to coast. Do you understand what I'm saying? Gunther started out as number 1, and he went all the way from 1 to the end. And Gunther, the Intercontinental Champion, the longest reigning UK champion, he's only held 2 titles in WWE, the UK Heavyweight Championship and the WWE Intercontinental Championship. And he went coast to coast. And for a minute, they thought Gunther was going to win. And I would have preferred Gunther over that pissant Cody Rhodes, but Gunther won. I mean, Gunther didn't win. Cody Rhodes won. Okay, the American Nightmare is your 2023 Royal Rumble winner. I'm not a big fan of Cody Rhodes. Actually, I can't stand the pissant, but he won the Royal Rumble. Now, with that being said, Cody Rhodes is 0 for 2 against Roman. No, I'm sorry, it's 2-0 against Roman Reigns. When him and Goldust beat the Shield, Ray was injured. We'll get back to that in a minute. Okay. Cody Rhodes is 2-0 against Roman Reigns. It was Cody who pinned Roman when him and Goldust beat him and Seth for the tag team titles. Cody also pinned Roman when him and Seth retained the tag team titles. When him and Goldust retained the tag team titles. So the history's on Cody Rhodes' side right now. He's 2-0 against Roman Reigns. I asked this question last night at the Royal Rumble party. Who is hotter as a heel than Roman freaking Reigns? There is nobody hotter. There's nobody better. There's nobody on top of their game like Roman Reigns right now. And what happened at the end of the show last night, oh my goodness, it was something to be amazed. We saw the breakdown. We saw it all. Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens, man, that was a good match. That was a wonderful match. Bianca Belair and Alexa Bliss, man, did they tear it up or what? The only match I didn't care for was that pitch black match, LA Knight and Bray Wyatt. That match didn't make any darn sense to me. Didn't make one bit of sense to me. Not one bit of sense to make to me. Not one bit of sense to made at all to anybody. But you know what? It was just stupid. That's just called it what it was. It's plain stupid. You got a point with that. So you got a real point with that. He ain't lying about that. I'm just saying it was the pitch black match, and it was more commercials in the Royal Rumble that I was watching Monday Night Raw. I don't know what the WWE is doing, but it was more commercials in the Royal Rumble than it was. Period. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. 2 minutes at the most. All right, I'm back. I'm sorry about that. I had to take something out. But yeah, the Royal Rumble last night was off the hook. It was the only stupid match of the Royal Rumble was that pitch black match. Didn't make any sense. Don't know why they advertised it, but it was just plain stupid. Now let's get into the before we get into the Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens match. Let's get into the Women's Royal Rumble. Rhea Ripley, the Nightmare, the Nightmare. Rhea Ripley. You can call her whatever you want to. This woman is a freaking powerhouse. You hear me? She made her main roster call up last year at WrestleMania when she beat Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship. Now, I was telling them at the Royal Rumble party last night, and I'm going to say it again, Rhea Ripley can make history in WWE. Rhea Ripley, and I want you to hear this. I want you to hear this. Rhea Ripley is the only woman in WWE history to hold the Raw Women's Championship, the Women's Tag Team Championship, the NXT Women's Championship, the NXT UK Women's Championship. If she challenged Charlotte for the SmackDown Women's Championship, she would be the only woman in WWE history to hold all women's championships with the exception of the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships, but she'll be the only person to hold all women's singles championships. That is unheard of in WWE. Charlotte holds that record right now, but I think Rhea going to break it. And she went coast to coast. A lot of surprises. Well, not a lot of surprises in the Women's Royal Rumble last night. Let's see. Liv Morgan, who went coast to coast with Rhea, starting it out. And last night, we saw the return of Asuka. And it wasn't Asuka. It wasn't Asuka. It wasn't, the Asuka that showed up last night. The Asuka that returned last night wasn't the Asuka we all know of. It wasn't the Asuka who never lost the NXT Women's Championship. It wasn't the Asuka that dominated down NXT. The Asuka that showed up last night, well, let me just say it like this. This was the Asuka of New Japan, and I can't pronounce her name. If Butch is watching, Butch, pronounce her name in the chat so everybody can see her name in New Japan. That was the Asuka we got last night. It was a whole lot of surprises, disappointment in the Women's Royal Rumble. We all was looking for Naomi to return. She didn't return. We all was looking for the big return of Naomi, and instead of Naomi, we got Nia freaking Jax, the king of blotches. Nia Jax. Next to Tamina, the worst Samoan in WWE. You're telling me that Nia Jax is more higher than Naomi. And Naomi's a two-time SmackDown Women's Champion. She's also a former, she never lost the Women's Tag Team Championship. So you're telling me, WWE, that Nia Jax is more higher on the totem pole than Naomi, when the last one-on-one match Nia Jax had was a debacle. And I mean debacle. That match with her and Charlotte, that was hard to watch. Lord, that was hard to watch. You talk about a fight that just, and I think everybody who watched that live on Raw clicked the channel. Because that match was, ooh. I'm going to be real with you. It made you start drinking after watching that match. Just being real with you. That's how bad that match was. It made you less of a WWE fan than you probably was now. But it was a match to behold. No, it wasn't a lie. It was a match that you don't want to watch no more. That match sucked. I was ashamed to be a wrestling fan. That match, and it wasn't Charlotte. It was Naomi. I mean, not Naomi, Nia Jax. Nia Jax, the match went from okay to a real fight, then it went bad. It went real bad. It just went from pretty good to pretty awful to just downright awful. Jeez. But I'm not understanding. WWE feels that Nia Jax is bigger than Naomi. I mean, yeah, she's bigger than Naomi. She's a lot bigger than Naomi. But I'm just saying. Naomi can run circles around her, and yet you don't re-sign Naomi. Now you know what? I'm going to shoot here, and I'm going to shoot with this real quick. If you can go in negotiations with a no talented woman who has held the Raw Women's Championship for a cup of coffee, SmackDown Women's Championship longer than she ever held any title in her life. She's a 2-time or 3-time Women's Tag Team Champion. She had matches of the year with Bayley because Bayley carried her. If you can go in contract negotiation with Sasha Banks, who brings nothing to the women's division, who absolutely is worthless as a wrestler, worthless. And I know people who watch wrestling may see this and may not like this, but she's absolutely worthless. People like Charlotte, people like Bayley, people like Naomi carried her worthless behind and made her what she thinks she is. She didn't want to drop the belt to Bianca Belair at the WrestleMania. She pulled a Jeff Jarrett. She went in there, she told Vince, she told Hunter, if I'm going to drop the belt to her, I want such and such amount of money. They gave it to her, she dropped the belt. That's why she disappeared off of TV for a while. Sasha Banks is the most selfish, underrated, she is the most selfish, underrated, worthless WWE woman superstar there ever was. And if you ask me, the only damn reason she was champion because Charlotte didn't want the belt, Becky didn't want the belt, and Bayley was in the NXT. That's why she was champion. She didn't deserve it when she won the first time. She didn't deserve it when she won the second time. She didn't deserve it when she won the third time. The only time she deserved that title is when she beat Bayley inside of Hell in a Cell. That was the only damn time she deserved that title. And if you ask me, WWE was stupid enough to give her that damn title. And that made the title worthless. That's why they kept giving it back to Charlotte, because Charlotte made that title. That's why Bianca Belair is the longest, it's almost the longest reigning women's champion on Raw. You know why? Because of people like Sasha diminishing that title. Let's talk about titles. I'm not the biggest Brock Lesnar fan there ever was, but you know what? Roman Reigns is a freaking god in wrestling, and he's making the Universal title worth a lot more than what it is. Because when Brock Lesnar held that title, Brock Lesnar made that title more worthless than the Cruiserweight Championship. And yes, I said it. But yet instead, Roman Reigns acknowledged me. Yeah, you might as well acknowledge him. Because going on 1,000 days. Matter of fact, hold on. Hold on 1 second. And I'm very emotional when it comes to wrestling. Give me one moment, because, oh, here we go. Currently, and do the math for this one, Roman sits at 301 days as WWE Champion, 882 days as WWE Universal Champion. That's over 1,000 days as champion. And he's made the Universal title damn near higher than the WWE Championship. Why? Because somebody who wants to work, making that title worth something. Let's go back to Sasha Banks. She beat Bayley inside Hell in a Cell. It was never supposed to be Bayley and Bianca at WrestleMania. It was always supposed to be Sasha and Bianca at WrestleMania. Why? Because WWE wanted the culture shock for their main event, the first night of WrestleMania, and they got it. They broke barriers. For the first time in wrestling history, for the first time in wrestling period, 2 African-American females headlined at WrestleMania, and that was a big breakthrough for WWE. But Bianca Belair went out there and showed everybody just how worthless Sasha Banks is. And if you think I'm lying, go back and watch that WrestleMania, and you'll see how Bianca Belair made Sasha Banks look worthless. Because she carried her the whole match. She carried her the entire match. Asuka carried Sasha. Charlotte carried Sasha. Becky carried Sasha. Everybody Sasha's been in the ring with carried her through the entire match. But WWE wants to negotiate with her. But you want to negotiate, you won't negotiate with a former Miami Heat cheerleader, Naomi, the wife of Jimmy Uso. Yeah. Yeah. That's smart. This is why WWE gets the bad rep it gets. Because they make stupid decisions. The rumor that they're going to sell to Saudi Arabia. The rumor that they're going to sell to NBC. The rumor that they're going to sell to this and they're going to sell to that. If you're going to sell the company, sell it to your son-in-law. Because he knows the business. Keep it in the family. Or sell it to Shane. Shane knows the business too. But that's the topic for another show. This is the Royal Rumble review show. And I had to get it off my chest about Sasha Banks because that's how I feel about it. And Rhea Ripley went coast to coast. She did a great job. It got down to Rhea and Liv Morgan at the end of the Royal Rumble. You saw a lot of surprises. Indy Hartwell from NXT. Like I said, you saw Nia Jax come back, which absolutely made no sense to me. Michelle McCool. Yeah, he would. Michelle McCool, who was sitting in the front row. I'm only guessing that Michelle didn't know she was in a Rumble because she got in the Rumble. She rushed in street clothes. She did pretty good for herself. She used a faith breaker. It wasn't a style clash. It was a faith breaker. I forget that woman's name, but she did use it. But it got down to Rhea, Asuka, and Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan, not Liv, I'm sorry. Yeah, Liv Morgan got the mist to her eyes. I want everybody to pay attention to something. Go back and watch the Royal Rumble. Look at the color of the mist Asuka sprayed in Liv's face. We're gonna have a match. We're gonna have Asuka and Charlotte at WrestleMania. I guarantee it. So it was that. Rhea went coast to coast. She started number one. She ended the whole thing as she is this year's 2023 Women's Royal Rumble winner. Okay. Now let's get to the main event. Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens for the third time at the Royal Rumble. The first time they fought, Kevin Owens beat Roman Reigns thanks to Chris Jericho's interference. The second time they fought, Roman Reigns beat Kevin Owens. The third time they fought, Roman Reigns beat Kevin Owens, but the match was a simply classic. We saw Roman Reigns' Samoan background snap in that matchup, and it was awesome. Roman came to the ring with Paul Heyman and Sami Zayn. And at the end of the match, Roman kept beating on Kevin Owens and beating on Kevin Owens and beating on Kevin Owens. For people who don't know this, Kevin and Sami have a huge friendship. Sami Zayn was Kevin Owens' best man at his wedding. He's the godfather of both of his kids, and off screen they are best friends for life. That played dividend last night. That played dividend last night. Roman had the chair. He gave the chair to Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn took the chair and struck Roman right in the back with the chair. Jey Uso told Sami Zayn, "What are you doing? I stuck up for you. I stuck up for you." Yeah, all that chopping. I guess Jimmy said, "The hell with this." Just popped him right in the mouth with a super kick. Perhaps the best super kick I've ever seen Jimmy ever do. Sammy went down with a ton of bricks. Jimmy got on top of Sami Zayn and just started beating the brakes off him. Solo threw Jimmy off, that's his brother, and started beating the brakes off of him. I think we're going to see Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns in Canada for the Undisputed Universal Championship. But at WrestleMania, I'm going to go with, you're going to see Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn against the Usos for the Undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships. That's my prediction. The shocker of last night was Sami Zayn turning on Roman Reigns. Jay walked out because I think Jay was like, I told y'all he wasn't no good from the get-go. He was no good. He wasn't no good. He turned. He turned on Roman Reigns, and the build-up to that was simply magnificent. Magnificent to the beginning to the end. It was awesome. I'm looking forward to see what happened with Kevin and it was Kevin. I'm looking to see what happened with Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and this whole bloodline debacle. It's going to be a great thing. It's going to be a great thing. Monday Night Raw, I can't wait to see. We all know that pissant Cody Rhodes going to kick off Raw. And we're going to decide, and he's going to show up on Raw. We all know that. I don't like Cody Rhodes. I really don't. I'm not a Cody Rhodes fan. I'm just not. I didn't like him when he was Stardust. I didn't like him when he was Dashing. I didn't care for him when he was in AEW. I didn't care for him when he was in WWE the first time. I didn't care for him at all. All right. You know why I don't care for Cody Rhodes? Because he's the one of them fortunate kids that when he grew up, his daddy was in the WWE, WCW, NWA, ECW for a short period. My daddy's the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. You are half of the talent your daddy is. And you're about a 20% talent than your daddy is. You're about 20% with the gift of gab that your daddy had. If anybody has the gift of gab like your daddy, it's your brother, the natural Dustin Rhodes. And that's all I'm going to say about that. So, my stomach is growling. My food is ready. This has been the Master of the Mat. Thank you all for joining. Yo, like, subscribe to my network. I will be doing this as every other Sunday. Try to do it every Sunday. And I'm definitely gonna do it after every pay-per-view. If it's not a Sunday, if it's not a Monday before I go to work, but I will be doing this. Like, subscribe. I guarantee you will not be disappointed with the content. Once I learn how to scream two together, I'm gonna have some guests on here. Tune in this Thursday at 8 o'clock to the WFCW. It's on Con Squad 16. That's my little brother's Screaming Network. Watch it. Watch the WFCW this Thursday. You won't be disappointed with that either. So I'm telling you right now, like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know what you think of the show. Let me know how you feel about the show. This has been another edition of the Master of the Mat. Hey, yo, I'm going to say this on a positive note. Life is too short. You got odds with somebody, you beef with somebody, give them a call, give them a text, give them a shout out, give them whatever. Get it right because tomorrow's not promised for none of us. Let's love people. They get on your nerves, you love them. They piss you off, you love them. They don't like you, you love the hell out of them. You keep loving until they like, so you keep loving. They may not like you, but they ain't gonna like, you know what I'm trying to say. You love them, do your mess. God love you, you love them. That's the way it is. And on that note, I'm out. Y'all be easy. This is the Master of the Mat. Come back next Saturday or Sunday or whenever I do this. I don't know. I'm tired. I'm hungry. My stomach is growling. Like, subscribe to my channel, and I promise you won't be disappointed. I'm a huge wrestling fan. I'm a Paul Heyman guy. Yes, I'm a Paul Heyman guy. I'm going to have my Paul Heyman shirt on next week. I'm a Paul Heyman guy. I'm a Paul Heyman guy. But you won't be disappointed. And I promise you, we're going to turn this into something big. We're going to turn this into huge. This is my screaming show, and I'm hoping we get bigger and bigger and bigger with this. This is my thing. Anybody knows me, they tell you I'm the biggest wrestling fan there is. As I watch Impact Wrestling, I watch AEW, I watch WWE, I watch NXT. Heck, when this is over with, I'm going to click on Peacock. I'm going to go back to WCW and watch Nitro. I'm just saying, I'm going to go back and watch wrestling. Why? That's what I love to do. I'm a huge wrestling fan. As a matter of fact, this is this. This is in my PlayStation right now, 2022's WWE. I'm a wrestling fan. I love talking about wrestling. This is my thing. This is what I love to do. And whatever you love to do, get behind it. Go do it. Whatever your thing is, make it your thing. But this is mine. I'm a wrestling fan. I'm gonna be a wrestling fan. Matter of fact, I'm gonna show you how big of a wrestling fan I am. Hold that thought 1 second. You see this? This right here is one of 4 of my championships right here. This is how big of a wrestling fan I am. I had a bunch more, but I gave them to my little homie JJ because I know he's a wrestling fan too. But this is why I'm a wrestling fan. I am a big wrestling fan. This is what I love to do. And if anybody know me growing up, all I want to do is watch wrestling, watch TV. Now I get to talk about it on my own talk show. I'm happy. I'm blessed. I'm happy. I'm enjoying life. I'm doing me. You don't like it? Oh, well, whatever. You don't know me. You don't know my story. You don't know how I got here. I got here. I'm here. I'm loving it. That's what it is. It actually feels good on me right now. But yeah, I'm just saying, this is what I love to do. I got my family talked me into doing this. They said my wrestling history is awesome. I mean, I know wrestling. If I don't know nothing else, I know wrestling. Well, okay? I know wrestling. I know for a fact, like I know that Emma and Zack Ryder dated each other for about 2 years. I know for a fact Chelsea Green is the wife of Zack Ryder. I know Rhea Ripley is dating AEW's Buddy Matthews, who used to wrestle in WWE under Buddy Murphy. I know that Cody Rhodes' wife, was a ring announcer for WWE. I forget her name as a ring announcer. But when she went to AEW, she made a name for herself before she got pregnant. I know that Sammy Guevara and his wife are expecting their first child. Chris Jericho, who perhaps the greatest Intercontinental champ of all time, has changed his name from the GOAT, the Wizard, whatever he's then calling himself now, but he's done it. He's the very first AEW World Champion. And John Moxley, who wrestled in WWE as Dean Ambrose, a 2-time AEW World Champion, a former WWE champion. So, I mean, that's what I know. And I know. Wrestling companies, I watch Impact, AEW, Ring of Honor, WWE, NXT. I still watch WCW. I still watch ECW. Why? Because that's what I love to do. I got my own. I can watch whenever I want to watch it. I am a wrestling fan. If you don't like it, you don't have to subscribe. But this is me. My name is Anthony, and I am a wrestling fan. I'm a wrestling harlot. Okay? I am who I am, and if you don't like it, it's too bad. I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna do what makes me happy. I'm gonna do what I love. This is the master of the mat, and whatever your thing is, find your thing. Do your thing. Al, and I'm going to do a couple of shout outs right now. I'm going to shout out my sister and brother for always supporting my channel. I love both of y'all very much. Thank y'all for coming on, supporting me. My brother's friends, shouting out my family who comes on, watch this. Thank y'all for shouting out. If I send y'all a link on Facebook or you watch through Facebook, thank you for watching. And we're just getting started right now. This is just the beginning. This is just the start of something real big, because this is going to be real big. I want to thank everybody who supported me when I first started this show, everybody who's been watching since day freaking one. This is the beginning of something big. I promise you, this is it. This is the beginning of something big. This is something big that we all going to look back and be like, yeah, he made it. So yeah, I'm doing, and this is it right here. So thank everybody who watched, who don't, if you're not watching live, you go back, you watch it later. Thank you all so much for supporting my channel, The Master of the Mat. This is a wonderful opportunity for me to express how much I love talking about wrestling, how much I love wrestling. This is it. All right? This is it. Like I said before, life is too short. If you're at odds with somebody, reach out to that person. Let them know you still care about them. Let them know you love them. All right. And what don't matter what happened. Who cares what happens? Who cares if it's your fault or their fault? Reach out. Tell them you love them. Tell them you care about them. Life is too short. Don't worry about what their consequences are going to be. This is, you love somebody, love them through their mess. Somebody love you through your mess, so why not love somebody else through their mess? They get on your nerves. Yeah, they do. A lot of people get on my nerves, but I still love them. I love what I do. I love doing this. I love my job. They get on my nerve, but I love my job. I love my church. I love my family. They all get on my nerves, but I still love them. I don't always agree with them, but I still love them. Life is too short to hate people, disagree with people, don't like people. Life is way too short. Be blessed. Be you. Be who you are, and never change. This is the Master of the Mat, and I am Anthony the Origin Bryant, and I'm signing off. Thank you for watching, and you all have a wonderful and blessed Sunday, and you all have a wonderful and blessed and prosperous week this week. Peace.